one heads to win the game. It's off the table. Can he do our odds? And it's a draw.
I'm excited to play in today's tournament. The goal is to end up on stream and have a redemption win on stream, not lose again, but also qualify for day 2. Have checked in already. We got the swag bag day 0, so I'll do some quick video of what we got. We ended up getting the Roaring Moon playmat again, along with the Professor Turo scenario with a little regional stamp. We have the special sauce in our deck this tournament as well. We have Ampharos EX, and our Paralysis Pokemon is a Luxray V. Not the Tapu Koko. That is, I think, going to be the more popular choice for a lot of players. I'm really excited, so let's go see what the other homies are playing today.
Dan, what deck are you playing today?
I'm on Rapid Strike.
Rapid Strike, and what landed you on Rapid Strike?
I just think it has a good matchup into the field. I've been playing it a bit this format. It seems pretty good. Miraidon, Tina, Zard are probably like the top 3 decks meta share wise. I think it's pretty good into all of them and still pretty solid into some of the other stuff. The only bad matchups are like Mew and Moon, which I expect to be lower meta share, so we're hoping we win the matchup roulette and otherwise just go well. Day 2 is obviously good. I'm trying not to ID anymore at round 9 though, so ideally 7-2 into day 2 instead of like 6-2-1. Or better obviously would be nice, but we'll see I guess.
Zach, what deck are you playing today?
I'm playing Glasses Lost Box today. I wanted to play Lost Box so much because it's my favorite deck and it has basically every counter to any deck and format. I want the surprise factor. At least make 6-2-1 go day 2.
One last interview before round 1 starts. We got Paul.
Playing the basic Charizard EX today. Radiant Charizard, which is like more of a niche inclusion. Maybe it's going to rise up in popularity this weekend. Other than that, just pure consistency. Mainly day 2, but in order for me to qualify for Worlds, I'm like super low right now. I gotta get like probably top 64, top 32. Money is like the ideal goal from this tournament.
Kind of freaking out right now because I can't log into my Arcanine account for some reason, so I don't know where my table is. I have to try and find like paper pairings somewhere. So we managed to get the pairings. We're at table 714 playing against David. And also shout out to all the homies who've come up to me and said hi and stuff. Day 0, day 1, really love the support. Table 714, I think we're almost there. Round 1 just wrapped up and we played against a Rapid Strike Urshifu deck. I'll talk about the matchup in just a second, but this feels good. And we have an interview with the #1 ranked player in Canada who also just donked his opponent as well. We got Rowan Stavenow, so let's check in with him, see how things are going.
Tell me about your round 1 and maybe your deck choice for today.
Yeah, I'm playing Mew VMAX, similar to Ian Rob's deck from Portland. I got that Elisa Sparkle Fusion package. I played against Caleb Rogers in round 1, and usually he always plays Guardy, so I was a little nervous. And then he told me he was actually playing Charizard, so I was even more nervous.
Oh, Lord.
And then I played out my whole Mew turn, and he goes, draw pass, and I'm like, let's go.
Take that.
And then game 2, he got a little better, but pretty similar, so good start here in Charlotte. I always am like a Mew guy or a Guardy guy, and I just kept getting donked and testing with Guardy, and I was getting really annoyed, so I wanted to play a deck that always set up. And I'm always trying to win the tournament, but if I make top 32, I'll be happy. Hopefully today I can go 7-2, that's my goal. It's called the Experience Share Podcast. We're on YouTube, you can check it out. Rowan Stavenow TCG. We love to talk about the meta, but we also love to talk about things that aren't the meta. More things about like your mindset and what you should be doing when you're playing the Pokemon TCG for fun. Don't overcomplicate things, you know? Your primary goal should be to have fun, meet some people. These tournaments are really wholesome, and just don't be too stressed about winning the tournament or the 60th card of your deck. Just come, have fun, play your favorite deck.
Oh, all right, well, thanks for the interview, Rowan, and good luck for the tournament.
Thanks, Christian. You too.
So quick recap of round #1 since we have some time before round #2 begins. I think I already leaked that I won. But yeah, game #1, we played, and he chose first, and he started off with a Medicham V in the active. And on his turn 1, he had to drop Lumineon on the bench just so they could, you know, get a supporter ready for their turn 2. They grabbed, I believe, Irida. And on my turn 2, I just got the easy KO. I Seal Stone for a rope, and I managed to KO the Lumineon. And then on their turn, they really didn't have much going on, no setup at all. They had the Nest Ball for Urshifu, and they attacked me with the Medicham for 200. I retreated, and honestly, like, my board was just so nuts. So we took the game 1. Game number 2 was the complete opposite. I started off with the Luxray V in the active, and then I had Raikou V. No other really playable cards. I hit Generator for 2 on Raikou, but what good is that going to do you if you're just going to get knocked out right after? So they took a quick game 2. And then game number 3, we had about like 40 minutes left. We had a lot of time for this game number 3. I chose second because that's what you do. I gotta say, it was just a perfect setup across my side. They had a Inteleon V start with Spiritomb on the bench. I had just the nuts, absolute nuts. I had Squawk in the active to start. We got Miraidon, we got Ultra Ball in hand to grab Mew, we got the Switch, we got the Generators. Like, it was a dream come true for a Miraidon player playing against a Rapid Strike Urshifu, especially for a Miraidon player that's not playing Turbo. Turbo really has a great matchup because they have double Mew. I just have the one Mew, and I'm rocking like all my sheep as well too, right? So there's some liabilities, but starting the day off on a W, very happy, set the tone, I'm in a good mood. Hopefully we can continue. Hopefully we don't play too much Rapid Strike today. That is a harder matchup. You know, I definitely did get lucky with them kind of double breaking, but that's also the beauty of Miraidon. Miraidon is one of the most consistent decks in the game, so if you're just able to play the game, that's a huge advantage to other decks which have a harder time setting up. Round 2 is going to start in like 15 minutes or so. I'm going to relax, unwind, and yeah, maybe bump into some more subscribers and interview some people along the way. So we'll catch you guys whenever I do. Round 2 is going to start real quick, but we have a fun interview, of course, with a homie right here. We got TJ.
I've been playing Roaring Moon for a while, have tried all the different variants, but got a little Iron Hands technology in there with some energy switches. If I go first, there's sometimes where I can get the turn 2 hands attack off on a Comfy or one prize Pokemon, and it's pretty nice when that happens. And then Moon can kind of take it over from there, but been enjoying the deck overall. Game 1 was good, was against a Tina player. He had definitely some Tina draws going on, which was unfortunate for him, but and he also wasn't running Manaphy, so I got to do a couple cheeky energy switch plays with the Greninja, which was nice, and snipe some bench mons, and so it was definitely a good round 1. Feeling good so far.
Do you have any goals for today's event, and is this your first regional?
Yeah, so this is my first regional. I've only been playing Pokemon for maybe 6 months, doing a ton of online stuff. I've got 2 kids, and so it's tough to get out to in-person tournaments, but I got the whole family down here. Would be sweet to make day 2, but I'm just trying to have fun.
Match number 2 just wrapped up, and we played against a very favorable matchup, Gardevoir EX. And this was such an intense game. Holy cow. Game 1, it was the dream start for Miraidon. My opponent went first. They had Relics on the active, attack energy, pass. My turn, I had the best start of my life you could ever ask for. I get full setup. I have everything I need. I have Mew EX for draw. I have Squawk for extra draw. I got the turn 1 KO. Game number 2 is a nail biter. It is so close. They had some cool techs in their deck like Deoxys V and Deoxys V Star. Those cards have been picking up some interest in the Gardevoir community. I think Jake Gearhart, I was the pioneer of that in San Antonio. That was a really close game. Basically, I lost by 1 turn. I was so close. So on to game 3, we have 18 minutes left remaining, and I'm like, oh God, we have to watch our pace. It's Guardy, you know, you guys know how Guardies go, and it's a very good chance they could tie. It came down to the wire. We were taking knockout after knockout, and we went to full overtime. And in overtime, I almost blew it. I almost threw it. There was a point where I played Miraidon, and I didn't bother to tandem unit the turn before to set up like a Raichu and a Zapdos, and then I had just Path, because I'm like, I'm going to play Path to negate their energy acceleration. On my next turn, I have to take this knockout, and I realized that, well, I have Path out. I can't get what I want, so I have to Lost Vacuum away my own Path, and my opponent was like so confused. They're like, huh? I was like, huh, myself, right? So I Lost Vacuum, I throw away my Golden Super Rod, and then I grab a Raichu, and I'm like, I'm hyped. I have Energy on board. We're gonna one-shot this Gardevoir EX like it's nothing. So I set up the Raichu, I double Dynamotor. I was so excited about tandem uniting my Raichu. I forgot to grab the Zapdos in my deck for that plus 10 damage, and that makes such a big difference. I got punished for that. I had a really great hand. Like, I had pretty much a 80% chance of winning the next turn, even with that really bad misplay. So I take the knockout, and I have no energies on board except for 1 on the Raichu. I draw my prizes, and they're great prizes. It doesn't matter though. He Ionos me to 1 card. I draw a single energy, and I'm like, okay, well, now I have all my energies in the discard, 1 on Raichu, double floppy. So that means I can attack for 240 no matter what. So I need my top deck to be any card that lets me draw and get me another energy onto the board. Or my 1 copy of Boss in a deck that has about 20 cards left. I draw, and I freak out. Forest Seal Stone. And I hadn't used my Seal Stone all game because I only have 1 in game in my deck. I go, I'm sorry. Forest Seal Stone to Raichu. Check my deck, grab the Boss the Greninja, attach, Dino. What a freaking close game. That was so much fun. He even knew, like, it was so much fun. It was such a close game regardless of, like, win or lose. Great game. Great opponent. Oh, that was so close. Iono 1 is a real thing, but Seal Stone, let's go. All right, we're 2-0. We're 2-0, and the entire game I had to pee, so I gotta go. I gotta go pee. Match number 3 just wrapped in overtime, and we're gonna just do a little walk and talk and go to the washroom because the game was long. We played against a Lost Box toolbox deck that had like Roaring Moon, Kyogre. It also had Hoopa EX, and that was actually an insane tech card choice. It's a fighting type EX Pokemon that takes darkness energies for the attack. And it honestly, it clutched up and it won them the game. Game number 1 was really close, back and forth. Unfortunately, I did break at the start. I prized double Miraidon. If I had just prized 1, that would have been fine, but double Miraidon prize was really painful to start. I couldn't really set up perfectly. By the end of the game, I did a play where I could have got a V Pokemon on the bench. I think I like Nestballed or Tandem unit. I think I Nestballed. I got Zapdos just to thin it out. Should have grabbed a V Pokemon because I had access to Seal Stone, and I would have won in the late game if I had just put a V Pokemon down instead, because I had Arven to grab. I could have grabbed Seal Stone. I drew into Seal Stone, but don't have no V Pokemon on the bench, so it's just like I got punished, and the Hoopa EX came out clutch in the end. Game 2 was a little rough as well. Bricky start again, so 2 Bricky starts in a row. This one though, I went for the turn 1 Fang Snipe. So I was Fang Sniping in his deck, like his hand, for like 3 turns. So I deleted, I think, 2 Poke Gears. We got Mirage Gate in there too. But it went into full overtime, and he had it by the very end of it. So very close sets. We lost 0-2 though. And man, if I just won that first one, the second game honestly probably could have gone to a tie. So it is what it is. We're now 2-1. Round number 4 is about to start pretty soon, but we have a quick interview with a fellow Miraidon maniac. Let's check in with Eric.
I've been playing Miraidon since the beginning. Scarlet Violet comes out. So before Scarlet Violet, I was playing Electric Box. Well, I started back with Arven, and that was before War Worlds, and Mahomes brought it to the forefront. But I've steadily evolved it, played the Path build, and right now I'm in the Peony build. Currently 1-1-1, tied in Urshifu round 1. Round 2, I was a win against a very weird Charizard, Leafeon, Regidrago V-Star build, and ended up losing 3rd round against Lost Team. I would love to get a day 2, represent our home state, Virginia. We've got Neptune's gym here, just a day 2 to start, and we'll see where we go from there. I love Miraidon, I'm going to stick with it. I believe there's definitely legs after. You got some energy stickers if you need them, you got the EXP shares, and just put more energy if you need them, because those generators need a hit. Don't give up on it, there's plenty of hope, and I bet it'll be the top deck in the future.
Round number 4 just wrapped up, and we played against a Charizard EX player. You guys know Charizard is the hardest matchup for Miraidon. I was not looking forward to playing those games out. I'm teched out for it. I was ready, but we'll get to my recap in just a second because we have an interview with another evil Charizard player. But this one I can tolerate because he's a subscriber. We got Richard to interview, so let's go check in with him.
Charizard's a deck I've been playing since it came out. I originally started with a Curlia Charizard with Arvens. and it sucked. But I've been playing Charizard ever since it came out. This right now is just a baseline tournament. This is my first one, first regional.
Okay.
I've been playing for like 6 months, so I'm just figuring out like where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm hoping to get day 2. That'll be like my go-to. Last one, that was a blast. I enjoyed it. It was against Darkrai V-Star. It was beautiful because I have a good friend of mine. He plays Darkrai V-Star, and I haven't played against it for a while. So having a actual ability to play that matchup, oh, it was amazing. It was a blast. I'm expecting to avoid the Snorlax stall, but I don't want to go against Guardy. Yeah. That's one I've had difficulties with every time. Entei V is my fire tech for de-evolution TM, and for the Goldingos that are appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah. Round 4 recap real quick. I did in fact just get cooked by Charizard. I drew pretty poorly. They hit the nuts on their draws. Game 1 was not as close as I wanted it to be. I didn't really get to do too much, and they took it. I scooped, even though we still had 4 prizes left each, because I knew time would possibly be a concern for the matchup. So yeah, when you see the Zards are set up like that, you gotta know when it's time to throw in the towel. Game 2 though was much closer, but their turn 1 was so close. They were so close to bricking. They had Rotom on the active, Charmander on the bench, and then they had Forest Seal Stone. Forest Seal Stone turn 1, the VIP. They got to do their thing. I got to use my Luxray actually. They even used Arven for like Choice Belt and some stuff, and I used my Luxray to delete their Choice Belts and even paralyze them, but Charizard just always has it sometimes. It's kind of like how Mew was so oppressive and evil and diabolical. Charizard just has that, but it's with Arven or with Pidgeot rather than something like Fusion Strike system. So tough loss, 2-0'd by Charizard EX. And now we're 2-2. So we have our final life left. We can ID once, or we're not gonna ID, but we can draw once. We can have 1 natural tie. But if we lose that, like 1 more loss, we're out of day 2 contention. But we're still gonna try and get points. We're still gonna try and like play all 9 rounds and see how far we can go. So hopefully we can close out on a couple more wins, and hopefully we can dodge the Charizard. The pressure is definitely on, and I'm getting a little slightly hungry, so I have some snacks in my bag. So I'm gonna chow down on my snacks before the next round begins. Round number 5 just wrapped up, and we played against a God of War EX player, and you guys know how I feel about God of War players. Now this one was super friendly and actually played at a really solid pace. I had no complaints whatsoever. Game 1 was close. I got a really nice start, nice setup and everything, but I prized my Iron Hands EX. And Iron Hands EX, you need it in the Guardy matchup. That's what also helps swing it so much in your favor. So when you prize it, it's painful. So yeah, the game 1 for round 5 we lost. Pretty close though. Game 2 was also close as well, but they got to fully utilize their really good comeback cards after I got to use Iron Hands to amp them very much with their Ralts on the active. We got to use Reversal Energy, Counter Catcher. They ended up taking the win from me in that game in the last turn of overtime because I was whiffing on drawing the 1 of 2 copies of Boss's Orders I had in my deck, and I had 15 cards left in deck, and I used Muse Restart for like 5 or 6 cards in total over 2 turns. Couldn't hit it, just couldn't hit it. And now on to round 6, which is actually taking place right now as we're filming this, and we're leaving the venue because we're getting some lunch. My opponent was a no-show EX player, so time to get some either Subway or Chipotle or something like that. Nice little reset I get to have. I need to get some caffeine in my system too. The crappy hotel coffee I had was crappy hotel coffee, so hopefully get something with substance right now. 15-minute break of lunch. Finally did it. We finally played the mirror match. We played against a fellow Miraidon maniac, and they were playing the turbo version of Miraidon, and I was running hot. I won the opening coin toss to choose to go second, and their deck's generators were just like off. Like they have more energies than me and everything, and the generators were just not cooking. And then on my side of the board, I was hardly even getting much thinning done, and they were still hitting 2 and still cooking. And it was honestly like just a really, really one-sided match. I felt bad for my opponent because like I know that pain of the generators not cooking, and he fought 3 Charizards today. The homie fought 3 Charizards, and he told me like if I flipped over Charmander, he was just gonna scoop and leave and like protect his mental, because 3 Charizards, that is a nightmare. Oh yeah, and before I forget, a couple of my roommates are actually doing really, really well. The last time I saw both Paul and Jack, they were both 5-1 each. So there's a good chance the homies might make it for day 2. So we're gonna check in with them at the end of today's festivities to see how they do. I know I'm not making day 2, but I am hoping that I can do well at the Cup tomorrow. I'm undecided what I'm gonna play for the Cup. I feel like I'm gonna play Turbo Miraidon and just kind of like high roll it. Although I really like my deck that I'm playing right now. But we'll see, we'll see. I might just go Turbo Don to see how that would have done in a way, you know? So yeah, round 8 is gonna come up in like 5 minutes or so. So round 8 just wrapped up, and we played against 2 playing Golden Go EX and Palkia V-Star. A deck that I honestly can say I was expecting to see today. I've played against 1 in the last like 7 tournaments in a row, and it is apparently a quite favorable matchup for Golden Go EX, which I honestly think it's true, because hitting that 260 turn after turn after turn is really hard to do. And 2, he almost gifted me the games. Game 1, he went attach pass with Gimme Ghoul in the active, and on my turn I had Iono, but I had only 1 Ultra Ball in hand, no Miraidon on the field. I whiffed the turn to attack to instantly win it right then and there. And then I did the high roll gamble, and so I put myself in a bad position if I don't win right there, and he was able to capitalize that, and the Iono gave him an actual playable hand, and he popped off and he made it rain. And then on to game 2, he bricked again. I chose to go second. He went attach pass, and this time I actually secured the turn 2 dunk. I had more than just an Ultra Ball. I had the Miraidon in the active, so I could actually get attackers and stuff. And all I had to do was hit generator for 2 onto a Raichu, attach, retreat, boom, kill a Gimme Ghoul. And on to game number 3, we have like I think we have like 30 minutes for that, so it's a pretty good amount of time. It went the home stretch, but I was breaking. I played 0 supporters all game, and he was going through his deck. It was, from his POV, it was beautiful. He would hit item, like pretty much every time he used Pokestop, and then when it was my turn, I chose not to Pokestop this time. Pokestop's a painful thing, it's tempting, but it's not always worth it. Round 9 pairings just went up, so yeah, let's see if we can close out on a winning record. We're 4-4, nowhere near as good as I wanted to do. One more round to close it out. Round 9 is gonna start in a couple of minutes, but we have the most important portion of the vlog. If you're not watching at this point of the vlog, there's no, why are you watching? We have the drip check with Fausto, making a reappearance from the Pittsburgh vlog. Here he is. What do we got on today, bro?
What's up, y'all? Got some rare drip. Someone's PC. If you've been playing Pokemon, you gotta know who Someone's PC is. Multiple regional champs, Nats champs, everything, baby. World's champs. Someone's PC on the back. Got the IGG shirt on, you know what I'm saying? I got game, look what's up. The Crocs, bro.
Crocs?
Damn, bro.
Damn, what size are those though?
Yeah, they're size 12, baby.
Damn.
You know what they say about big feet, you know?
Hey, yo.
That's what I got. I got
Yes,
the
sir.
PJs,
The big socks, the
straight
big
from
feet.
Pokemon Center, exclusive.
Ooh.
Damn, you already know, and I got the Yankee hat straight from Yankee Stadium, baby.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be dripped out here.
There you go, there you go. We love to see it.
5-2-1.
Ooh.
Yeah, one more, baby, one more.
One more? What are you thinking today? It's not the same as last time I saw you. Something else, right?
Same thing, baby. Lost box, baby. We on that.
Okay,
we on that.
okay.
When I was gonna
Okay.
say no, all the boys on the chat were like, bro, you gotta play Lost Box one more time. One last ride, baby, for rotation, for EUIC, because I'll see y'all there. But man, one more ride. We got it.
You got this. Day 2, baby, day 2.
So round number 9 just wrapped up, and I'll tell you guys about it in just a second. But we bumped into a homie right here. We got Jack to interview, so let's check in with him and see how his tournament went.
My first regional, overall I had a lot of fun. I played Charizard today, very similar to Azul's list. I had a great time all in all. I actually have 2 counter catchers in mind, just because like when you get behind, which does sometimes inevitably happen, that counter catcher can come in clutch. Actually, at my locals and stuff, I actually tech in a Minior usually, but I took that out for today because I didn't think got to see that much Snorlax, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. 4 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie.
Okay.
So
You broke even.
Yeah, I broke even. And for my first regional, I've only been playing since July. I'm actually pretty happy with how everything turned out. Been into the game for years, not competitively, just casually. Huge Pokemon fan. Always. Tyranitar's #1 Pokemon, always and forever. 2 really good friends of mine, separate friends that each have 2 sons that are about 9 years old. They love the card game and collect it. They don't play it, but they collect the cards, and so they started out casually, just like buying them packs here and there, and then they asked me one day, like, do you know how to play the game, the card game? And I'm like, no, I don't. And I actually went into our local shop, and I asked the owner, I'm like, how hard is it to play? And I bought a Palkia League Battle deck, and it's been going ever since July. There's a team of us here. We're coming tomorrow to do side events, shop around, support the guys that made day 2. Like, we're definitely coming back and do some side events tomorrow for sure.
Before I tell you guys how the last round went for myself, I want to celebrate my roommates, my homies, because a couple of them made day 2. So first off, Paul, what was your record?
702. Very happy with this result today.
Undefeated. And
Jack, what was your record?
6-2-1.
6-2-1.
just sneaking into day 2. I'm jealous. I hope one of these guys get top 8 because we have the Shake Shack agreement. You know, top 8 gets everybody Shake Shack. So who's it gonna be?
It's gotta be me, bro. I'll beat him tomorrow.
I think Dan did pretty good too. I think I'm the only one who didn't make day 2, but it's all good. We got the cup tomorrow. We'll run it back, have some more fun. But yeah, now let's get to the actual round 9 recap. Round number 9 just wrapped up, and we played against Dark Miraidon, Team Rocket's Miraidon, also known as Roaring Moon EX. Game 1 was pretty one-sided for me. We got the last beautiful KO with Ampharos EX, which felt really, really nice, and then they absolutely dominated me on the second game. Third game just wasn't having it. It wasn't meant to be. The generators were not cooking. I think I only played 1 supporter all game for the last game. My only knockout was because he was kind enough to frenzy gouging himself and to knock himself out. Final record was 4 wins, 5 losses. We're gonna go find out in the standings right now what our place was. If you made it to the end of the video, comment down below Ampharos gang, because we played the Ampharos and we had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, comment Ampharos gang, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.